Hi Stampers, this is Jennifer Timko from Stampin' on the Fly, and I am bringing to you today this fun and simple little 3D star card. I hope you'll enjoy making it with me. Okay, let's get going. We're going to start with a 4¼ by 8½ piece of Night of Navy cardstock, which has been folded in half, as you can see. And then I'm going to set up, this is the second largest of the star framelits from Stampin' Up. And I'm going to set it up on my piece of cardstock. So this is the folded edge right here, and I have about 3/8 of an inch right here. And this is going to be the place where I'm going to be able to have my fold, so my card is going to work properly. And I'm going to set it up on my Night of Navy cardstock just like this, and I'm going to run it through my Big Shot, which I've already done for you so I can show you. And then when I pull my framelit off, this is what's going to happen. And you are going to have the base for your card. And the reason we do it about 3/8 of an inch, first of all, it gives you enough to make the card sturdy, and it also gives you enough room to be able to put an insert in there, which I'll show you in just a bit. All right, once you have this done, you can put it aside, and we are going to pull up another piece of Night of Navy cardstock right here, my Versamark ink here, and the largest star from the Bright and Beautiful stamp set. I'm going to ink up, actually first, I always forget this and then I regret it. I'm going to take my embossing buddy and I'm going to rub it across this piece of paper here. Especially on the colored cardstock, I find that the embossing buddy is your friend, and you're not going to get any stray pieces of embossing powder, because that's what's really going to make this card a wow for you. So I'm going to take this large star. It's on my clear block, and I'm going to ink it up here with my Versamark ink. Okay? And stamp it down somewhere in the middle of my Night of Navy cardstock. And then we have that shadow image there. All right, I'm going to pull up my gold embossing powder. This is my very fancy storage for embossing powder, but it works really well. So if it's not broken, don't fix it. And I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle my gold embossing powder. It's the gold Stampin' Emboss powder onto my stamped image. Make sure I get everything here. Make sure I get up here and all the little corners. And once I have that image thoroughly covered with my embossing powder, I'm just going to pound it off there, set my embossing powder aside, and now I'm going to go off camera for just a second. I'm going to emboss that and cut it out with my Big Shot, and I'll be back in just a second. As you can see, I'm back, and I have embossed this with my heat tool and cut it out with that same star that we used to cut out our card, okay? So now all I have to do to conceal this missing tip here is to attach it to the front. I'm going to use my Fast Fuse adhesive because it's super strong, and obviously this is not a card you want falling apart. And on the front of the card here, just so that we don't end up with any up here behind a corner, I don't have to guess where the corners are, I can go ahead and apply my Fast Fuse adhesive. Now all you're going to do is go down like this, make a little check mark, and you don't get the weird little string or anything else. And this glue is super strong. You're going to love it. And one more, and that should be good. Now of course my fingers are going to totally stick to it as we go through this. And I'm going to just line these corners up and attach, and there you have it. So from behind you can see that little corner but from the front, it is perfect. Now, I have done off camera is I have gone ahead and on very vanilla cardstock, the middle star from the stamp set, I've done exactly the same thing. I inked it up with Versamark ink, and then I put on the gold Stampin' Emboss powder and embossed it and cut it out. So now you can see that we have the makings of our card. All we have to do is add on, I'm going to say a couple of dimensionals, just because, again, you want to make sure that it is perfectly secure. Pull off those little pieces of paper that all of us have all over our stamp room. You can do it like this, you could do it like this, and really that's just personal taste. There's so many ways to make this really, really pretty. And we're gonna go ahead and attach that just like that. All right, now in the effort of time, because I have my cards that are already made, I'm gonna pull these over. And I have two variations. What I did is I took my vintage faceted button, and on this one, I'm going to bring it in just a little closer, hopefully you can see. I took off one little gold sequin and added a rhinestone on top of it and attached those to the center, which is super pretty. And then again in here in my little center, using the same size framelit as I did with this vanilla gold star, I stamped Joy from the stamp set in the Night of Navy ink and just cut it right out with my framelit for my little insert. Same thing on this one. Now I'm going to try to turn it to the side so you can see. I have the little gold threads from the gold metallic baker's twine that I pulled off and tied through the button and added the Noel sentiment again embossed on the Night of Navy paper, and then the same center. So now, of course, a card this cute, you can't not have an envelope, and the envelope punch board is the perfect solution for that, of course. So what I did was create this one. You can see it's all tied up pretty here. All I did was follow the instructions for a 4x4-inch card. They're right there on the envelope punch board. You don't have to even think about the measurements. So here's my other one, and I just followed the instructions and created my envelope here, just like this. You just fold it up. You can, when you insert your little card, I went ahead and stamped one more of those medium-sized stars in Night of Navy ink, punched it out, and I put it up on a dimensional, just like that, so you can see. And then it makes it super easy once your card is all written and ready to be secured. All you have to do is tie around a big piece of this gold metallic baker's twine. Because it's attached with the dimensional, you can slide it right underneath, tie the little bow, and you have a pretty delivery for the special card you just made. I'm so glad you came and joined me today at Stampin' on the Fly. I hope to see you again real soon. Happy stamping!